Hello everyone. If you like books that are set in the deep, dark, creepy woods, imagining all sorts of horrors that could come out of there to do you harm, then today's your lucky day, because I got 3 of those books and each one are going to give you the chills. There are things hidden in those deep, dark woods that you never want to encounter, even in a well-lit area, much less in a forest somewhere. And these are all recent releases, and one is a pre-order. So you want to stick around for that one because you definitely want to buy it. And I'd like to remind you that I also have books for sale. The 3 horror books you see on your screen are only $1, and there's a link down below if you want to purchase them. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first book I want to talk about today is called The Woodkin by Alexander James. This is about a man, and when this man was a child, he watched as his mother burned to death in a horrific fire. It took him years of therapy to get over his nightmares. He feels guilty about it. Even though he was a little kid, he felt he should have been able to save her. And now as an adult, he's in a seemingly happy marriage for the past 5 years, until he finds out his wife has cheated on him. And this sends him into kind of a downward spiral. So he decides, he loves to hike, he loves to camp. So he decides he's going to take 3 months and hike the Pacific Crest Trail in the Washington State mountain area. He's going to do that for 3 months, try to get his head together, try to figure out where he's going to go now and how he should deal with the situation he finds himself in. And hoping getting back to nature will somehow help his issues. Well, you know, out of the frying pan and into the fire, because it doesn't take long for things to go very wrong. He discovers a dead body, which is bad enough, but before he can even alert anybody about this dead body, he realizes he is being stalked by someone or multiple someones in the woods. This quickly goes from simply being stalked to actually being pursued, and it goes from being pursued to being captured by these people. And that's all I wanted to tell you about the plot, really, because there are things in here you have to read for yourself. He does get captured. He is imprisoned in the woods. And these people belong to this cult calling themselves the Woodkin. But what do they want? What are their intentions with him? All that's going to be revealed, and trust me, it's nothing good. The things they have in mind for him will send a shiver up your spine. It's truly a life and death situation for him. And yeah, his only hope might be a small town near that area. And if he can just find a way to escape there, maybe he can find some help. But we all know how these small towns are. And we're going to find out some deep secrets about this town as well. And how this town is related to this cult called the Woodkin in the woods. This book is very brutal. And once you realize what they have in store for them, it gets even more brutal. And it's just a fantastic book, kind of survival horror mixed in with a little bit of cosmic horror. And it's absolutely dreadful situation he finds himself in that's just going to give you nightmares. Yes, I love this book. I absolutely recommend it, and you will find a link to the Amazon page below where you can purchase your copy of The Woodkin. And yes, I highly recommend it. And next we have a book. This book is part of a series. This is the first book in what's going to be, I believe, a 5-part series. And do yourself a favor, pick up this book right here and be prepared, because you are going to want more once you read it. This is the shortest book on the list. I believe this book is only like 50 pages, so it's not going to take you long to read. But it really packs all the terror that it can into those 50 pages, making it very much worth your time. And this is a book called Lucy by Alan Aspinfall. And this is about a serial killer. there's a guy and he's killing women. He's one of these guys. He got turned down by a woman, and so he kind of takes it out on the female population as a whole. He kidnaps these women. He takes them to his house, which is surrounded by woods way off the beaten path where nobody ever goes. And there he assaults them, he tortures them, and then he eventually kills them, burying them in the basement of this old abandoned home. And one day he's going to kidnap a female that fits his profile, the kind of woman he likes to kill. And her name is Lucy. But without giving anything away, Lucy is not who she seems to be. She is not just another victim. She is something else. I'll just put it that way. And pretty soon the tides are going to be turned on this man, and he is going to get his comeuppance in a very horrible, bloody, brutal way that you won't believe. But just so you know, if you think Lucy is some kind of avenging angel type of character trying to get rid of the scum of the earth, you can think again, because you might think she's the protagonist based on what I said, but once you read it, you'll realize she has much more evil intentions in store. And it doesn't really matter much to her if the people she kills and murders and maims are good guys or bad guys. Doesn't matter. She has other nefarious plans in mind. And the way this book ends on that little cliffhanger, oh man, you just can't wait. You want more right away. This author has said this is leading up to something spectacular in the finale. And even though this book is 50 pages and the next book is going to be a little shorter, after that they're going to get more full length. So we have a lot more action, a lot more bloodshed, and a lot more mysteries around what exactly Lucy is, what her evil intentions are. But you just have to get in on this book right now. He sets up this world perfectly. He makes you want more. And that's all the hallmarks of a great series. One that you just can't wait to get your hands on and read more of. And that's what this one does. It is absolutely excellent. I highly recommend it. And you can pick yours up at the link in the description. And finally we have They Stalk the Night by Brian Moreland. This one is coming out next month, but there is a pre-order link down below, and you definitely want to pre-order this fantastic novel. This is one of those novels that is it's a creature feature. It's in your face, it's bloody, it's brutal, it's filled with action, and the terror never lets up. There are no dull moments in this book. And these creatures are based on like Norwegian folklore. And they live in the woods, of course. And there's been kind of a truce, an uneasy, unsteady truce between people who practice this kind of Norwegian folk magic. And they've erected things and done rituals and sacrifice to keep this creature in the woods so it doesn't come down and massacre everybody. But then when a pipeline gets involved and buys the property going right through their sacred grounds and blows up their sacred area, the area that's separating this creature from the rest of the people, nobody is happy. Of course, there are several side stories in here concerning some of the characters because of this pipeline's presence. A lot of the indigenous people, of course, they're protesting. They're trying to sabotage the pipeline. Then on the other side, you have people who want the pipeline because it means jobs, it means more money. And once the pipeline is finished, it can put a lot of money into the community. So there's all that tension. There's tension between husband and wife. And there's some secrets with some of the higher ups in this town. And kind of really nefarious things they are doing as well in secret that are going to be revealed. And in the meantime, now that that barrier is broken, you got these creatures from that forest, and they are just going to go on a rampage of blood, guts, and brutality. It's going to be a massacre. And there's a few people in there who know how to stop this, but it requires some very specific things to happen, and you're going to read all about that based on this Norse mythology, you know. And oh, it's just fantastic. It's got everything you could want in a horror story. It's got the drama going on between certain factions. You've got all these great characters, some who know what's going on and they're trying to find a way to thwart it, others that don't believe it at all. And in between all that, you just have this creature running amok and just causing bloody mayhem everywhere. It's non-stop action too. This book never lets up on its pace. If you like movies like the remake of Dawn of the Dead or 30 Days of Night, you know, that just action-packed, these creatures are badass and they just want to, they will not stop until they reach their goal. This is the book for you because it will get your heart pumping, make your adrenaline flow, you know, and you'll want to keep reading just to find out how and if this thing can be stopped. And it's very exciting, very terrifying, and you don't want to miss it. Again, there is a pre-order link down below where you can pick up your copy of They Stalk the Night, and I highly, highly recommend it. So there you have 3 horror books set in the woods. It'll make sure you never want to go camping again, and that's okay because nobody needs that in their life. But be sure to check all those out. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time and spending it here with me. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.